Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Meet the Shoe, another episode. And I am Sade.
I'm Nina. What up?
Hey guys, come on into the room. So tonight we're going to talk about a lot of overturned felony people talking about like I think we're in a world of forgiveness. Prosecution are noticing and the judges are noticing the harsh treatments they have put upon people with the war on drugs that was
Hmm.
implemented in the early late 70s and 80s.
Hmm.
And that was President Nixon at the time, Richard
That
Nixon,
started it?
that started the war on drugs.
No,
And
Reagan, I thought.
mm, yeah, Ronald
Well,
Reagan.
well, 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 here's the thing.
It's different phases.
It started with Nixon, you're correct. And then the war on drugs for Reagan. Reagan was in office, remember, 1986, 87,
Yes.
like that. At
And I
Reagan.
think it was
The
because
Reagan administration.
of Reagan. It's because of the heroin, how
Yeah.
bad heroin was at the time.
Well, no, and then actually the guy, the remember the basketball player that died from crack cocaine? I can't
Oh,
remember his name. It was a hey, love and happiness. How
hey,
you
Lisa,
doing?
happy. Thank you for tuning in.
That it was a basketball player that
Hmm.
died from crack cocaine, and that's what made them do the 100-to-1 ratio.
Right.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
So yeah, it's a lot of things that's going on as far as the sentencing guidelines now.
Okay.
It's still kind of harsh, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and it depends on how much and what you get caught with, especially with the crack cocaine and the cocaine disparity. You know all about that, especially on a
Honestly,
federal level.
I just thought that there was no where is crack, right? I mean, you hear more of the fentanyl and the opiate, right now, right? That's what's
Right now.
going on. And
Hmm.
what is it called? The mollies, right? That's what all of it mixed together, right?
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So
Ecstasy, Molly, yup.
yeah, that's everything put all in
Yeah.
one. Um Lately you see a lot of people that are really addicted to, like I said, the opiates and the fentanyl, right?
Hmm.
And more people been getting caught with that than anything. You don't really hear about crack busts,
No.
not even cocaine busts.
Sometimes it's very rare. You don't
Yeah,
even hear well meth a little bit, but usually
meth,
it's
yes,
like
meth.
the those pills, the and gosh, yeah. So to talk about Florida,
Mm-hmm.
Howard County. So in the 80s, late 80s and 90s,
Yep.
they were doing sting operations, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
controlled buys. And a lot of those drugs in Broward County were drugs they confiscated and resold on the streets.
Mm-hmm.
And they've done that all in, I know they've done that in Minneapolis
Uh-huh.
area too. Those drugs they put right back out on the streets to set other, no, probably do a sting on some addicts or low level drug dealers and users on the street. That entailed people going to prison, jail for buying uh 3 grams or half an ounce from a undercover or a CRI, confidential reliable informant.
Okay.
So it's like you recycling the same drugs and the same drug money into the community. It's more like entrapment to me.
Mm-hmm.
We've been saying that for a long time.
Right.
Now they're starting to be more aware of it and saying, okay, this 30 years ago, we need to backtrack. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
these people end up going to jail for up to 3 years, 10 years, just because we set these drugs out here on the streets and we resold it and locked them up. Put
Okay.
everybody anyway, because they're trying to do different things around May, October, right before election. Say they
Mm-hmm.
do all these sting buses. So yeah, that's what Broward County decided to forgive a lot of those crimes because a lot of those people doing time can't get
Mm-hmm.
housing, can't get a decent job. What
Mm-hmm.
does that do? It's like a domino effect. If you can't get a
Right.
job, or a decent place to lay your head, you're gonna go out and do the same damn thing over and over again. It's gonna repeat, and you're gonna
Well,
study. It's like a rabbit hole.
the reason why it's such the drugs are such a high effect in Broward County, because that's the port of Miami. That's the
Yes.
port, right? That's the port where all the drugs come in at.
Mm-hmm.
So
Most definitely.
they're the cases that they had back in the day, and the levels of the people, the amount of people that went to jail back then was extremely high because it was so infested with drugs, right? They said that the three emerging trends could be proven damaging if ignored. Cocaine use by young adults is increasing, and cocaine involvement overdose have exploded.
Yes.
Heroin and synthetic opiates are
Mm-hmm.
driving opiates overdose deaths.
Right.
And the county and the country is increasingly accepting marijuana. So that was they just this when you ask what are the current drug trends, that was the
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
explanation of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
To me, that means that the reason why we're more acceptance of marijuana because it's low level, people's gonna
Right.
do it. It's never gonna change. It's gonna be. It's everybody rather smoke weed. Those of us that isn't like drug users or
Right.
abusers
Mm-hmm.
would rather smoke marijuana versus using something hard because the hard would be an addiction.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do you think the marijuana can be addiction for some people that use? I mean, because I know people that smoke marijuana and they say they have to have a joint or something every morning.
Yeah, they have to have. Yeah, I know a lot of people that need weed on a daily basis, right? I don't think that it's as addictive because it doesn't cost as much, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even the
Costs a
prescription
lot.
drugs now are more cost more than weed.
Oh yes, yeah,
Yeah, and
yes,
that's what the fastest. It says prescriptive drugs is the fastest drug problem and has been classified as an epidemic by the Center of Disease Control and Prevention. So
yes.
you
And
could
you know
walk up
what?
in the store and get that.
Yeah. And what's sad that we have grade school kids abusing prescription drugs. Somehow they're getting a hold of these prescription drugs of their parents or stealing it from somewhere,
Hmm.
abuse, passing it around to their friends and having them little hot cocktails.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to get to, right?
Right.
It's easier to get to. It's. I mean, if you can just walk up in the store and get somebody outside to use their ID and give a reason of why they say that they need to, get cough medicine, even, right? Because they're getting addicted to that
Robitussin.
too.
Robitussin.
Robitussin, yeah.
Yes.
If
Definitely.
you have
Uh-huh.
somebody like that, then I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's just it's easy and simple.
So yes, they got at least they're thinking about they're going back. It's like at least 4,000, 1,000 to 4,000 cases still, lingering that they're gonna forgive and wipe their expunge it off their records and pardon their people records. And it's mostly black and brown people that are affected with these felonies in that county. So what I'm thinking is like, okay, will that trickle down to other states where they recognize what they have done in the past? Because look, we got a lot of felons in the world. The felon,
Hmm.
our president is so called a felon until they dismiss the whole case, but he is a felon right now because they talking
I
about
mean,
dismissing.
that's dismissing his charges for him to become the president.
Yes.
Okay, so when are they doing that? Do you have a date on that? Because I want to watch that hearing.
No, I don't, but it's soon. Prosecution is they said they're gonna just fold the book up and go ahead and let them have it. That's what prosecution decided to
Hmm.
do. Yeah. So you guys have to figure out something with the United States as far as the criminal system with non-violent crimes. Non-violent. I'm not talking about violent, non-violent crimes. As far as
Mhm.
drug charges that's not violent, petty crimes, as far as stealing. Because look, we have seen some people, that get 20 years for stealing. Talking about they was their third
Right.
time stealing. They got the three strikes you're outlaw, and
I
that
mean,
is crazy.
and so when they say three strikes, y'all, it doesn't have to be three
Of the
um
same crime.
of the same crime, the same use, right? Or the same weapon, like three times gun, three times drugs,
Yeah,
three
three times.
times theft, right?
Yes, yes, most
Okay.
definitely. That's how it has to be. Because the one guy in Florida who had it three times, he was the very first one. Because who passed that law? President. Oh, geez, which president was that?
Where?
The three strikes you're out
Oh,
law.
I don't know. Because
He passed.
a lot of them been overturning it. It depends on
Yes,
what's.
he has.
If I'm mistaken, three strikes is by state situation.
Yeah, state by
It's
state.
not.
Yeah,
It's not a federal. It's not
right,
mandated federally. It's
right,
mandated by state, right? So
exactly.
if your state doesn't want to charge you with that, they don't have to. There's so many mitigating certain circumstances that can happen in your situation that will prevent you from getting any kind of um prevent you from getting three strikes if you do the
Right,
same crime.
right. You're right.
Yeah.
So it's like in just like you said, each state. So going back to the guy in Las Vegas
Uh-huh.
that jumped at the judge.
Yeah, did he get like 26 years?
26 years. What
Hmm.
was his original charge? Do you remember?
I
They
don't. I
give
Let me
that
see.
much time. But to give somebody 26 years is
Well, he
absurd.
got 26 years because he jumped the lady.
Yes, he grabbed it, but he didn't have enough. Did he get have enough time to do any damage to her, or assault her, hit her, or punch her, or anything like that? I can't. I know.
Well, he more or less scared her more than anything, right?
Yeah.
He scared her. He terrified her. I don't think he hurt her too much. She didn't give him. She only gave him the 6 months she were in the league.
Right.
She didn't give him 26 years. Someone else did.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, she didn't give him the 26
Right.
years.
I think that's kind of a overkill, but I don't know his background personally. I don't know what kind of person he is or what happened, but we do know he's black. He got 26 years in Las Vegas prison. And I'm hearing Las Vegas is a zero
And he
tolerance.
jumped at judge.
Mm-hmm.
Captured dramatic incident when Deborah Ridden crashed in Diablo.
Mm-hmm.
That's his name. I don't know. Maybe I'm not saying this right.
Right.
Her name was Judge Mary Kay Haltis,
Yes.
right? And a man who assaulted a Las Vegas judge earlier this year when he jumped over the bench and knocked her into a wall
Wow.
has been sentenced to up to 65 years in prison. This was as early as 3 hours ago.
Wow.
So he's getting the 26 years, but he could get 65. They
Mm.
got him covered up. They got a mask on him in the courtroom. They said that um, he's 31 years old. Diabra is how I guess you say his name. Deobra. Diabra
Okay.
Ridden. He's
Mm.
31 years old. Um,
Lost to the system forever.
yeah. Yeah, I've said that between 26 and 65. So they want him to do at least and no more than 65. Okay, that's it. In the
Too.
prison for the courtroom attack of um his attorney Carl Arnold said this. So they want him to do at least 26, no more than 65. I mean, what lesson is he learning in that? I don't know.
No, for 26 years, that all that's gonna do is make him more malice and do stuff he's not supposed to be doing.
But they
Maybe
said she did receive medical attention, but was back in court the next day. She was treated with a head injury,
okay.
and her law clerk sustained abrasion in the assault. After attack, Ritten told corrections officer that he had a bad day and tried to kill the judge.
Mm,
Ritten
mm.
pled guilty but mentally ill. So he's mentally ill, he said.
And he may, and that may be the case,
And
because a lot of
mentally
people,
ill.
a lot of people in their right mind ain't gonna do what he did in that courthouse. He jumped at the judge, so I'm quite sure he.
Oh, so he was charged. Okay, so it's not just because of the attack. It is he has to attempt murder and five
Uh,
other charges linked to the attack.
Understandable. Now
Okay, I
we're
know in the
talking.
statement played that his client deal with prosecutors reflects on a delicate balance of between accepting responsibility for a regrettable incident and is recognizing the impact.
So he has attempted murder. He's found guilty of attempted murder. So that's about
Attempted murder, and some other. They ain't saying what else, but they just said attempted murder, and some other charges. There's six of them.
mm,
Arnold told jurors Ridden had not taken prescriptive medication to control his diagnosis of schizophrenia. So maybe so. He takes
what I tell you
medication
about
for
schizophrenia.
schizophrenia.
What I tell you about
Okay.
schizophrenia, girl. Look, no,
Oh, he
no.
was serving. He was already serving time for a felony. He was there because he was serving time for felony battery conviction,
Mm-hmm.
and he
Mm-hmm.
he pled guilty.
Okay. Okay.
He pled
That makes
guilty of
so
a battery of a protected person age 60 or older. Oh, he's kind of got charged with um
a combination of stuff.
attacking an elderly person. All right,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you get in trouble for that.
resulting in a substantial body harm, intimidating a public officer, and
Mm-hmm.
battery by a prisoner. In the
Okay.
moments before the attack, Ridden told the court he was in a better place in his mind and was working. So I don't know. I feel like I shouldn't be sent to prison, but if it's appropriate for me, for you, then you got to do what you got to do. I wouldn't have said that.
I would have been begging
No.
myself. I would have been begging so much to get back.
What would your conversation be with
Well,
knowing that you finna go your ass to jail because
and
you
you
know
got a
you don't
chance to.
put your hands on somebody
Mhm.
and of authority, a
Right.
judge.
So he had a chance to backpedal and be how can I say, remorseful, sorry. He should have been writing letters saying, "Look, I apologize. I wasn't taking my meds.
Well,
I'm I'm
she
doing
said
my."
the judge told Ridden that she would impose a prison sentence because of his crime and his past convictions. Ridden attacked the judge as she began to deliver the sentence. So she was only going to give him 4 years. So you went from 4 years all the way to 26 to 65. That was so
Something
foolish.
happened. Something happened that we don't know nothing about this
He
in
was
that.
only going to get up to 4 years. He wasn't even going to get 4 years. He's going to get
Mm,
up to 4 years.
wow.
In connection with with a baseball bat attack on a person a year prior. He
Oh, girl,
attacked somebody with a baseball bat.
he's a violent person.
Yeah. He might
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He's a
he
violent
is indeserving of the prison sentence because he
person.
used a
Mm-hmm.
weapon
Mm-hmm.
against a human being. There's no reason to use a baseball bat against nobody.
No,
Not
not at
not
all.
not not out of anger unless you're protecting yourself. Something has to be
Right.
a reason of why you're doing it. Other than that, mm-mm. So He'll think about that better next time while he's sitting there doing them
Okay.
26 years, because he sure has to take all of them down.
Right.
Minimum of
Okay.
26.
Mm,
Minimum of 26 is the thing.
minimum. Girl, look, I couldn't
Alright.
fathom. I couldn't
Well,
fathom.
let's cover the suspect in the killing of the United Healthcare CEO struggles, shouts out while entering the courtroom. So this guy, before I even get to reading the situation, right? From my understanding, he murdered the guy because his mother had a medical condition that they continuously denied.
But the whole thing is, they not are they talking about that on the news? Because they are saying about on the news that it was his back too. Well, they talking about his problem with the rods in his back.
Okay. So they say the man accused of the killing of the United Healthcare CEO struggles with deputies and shouts while being led into a courtroom Tuesday as new details emerge about the possible motive behind the ambush. In
Mm-hmm.
his first public uh, words since a 5-day search ended with his arrest at McDonald's in Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
Luigi
Yep, Louis.
Luigi Nicholas Man going, I don't know, going, that's his last name, I guess. Uh, emerged from the patrol car shouting out insults into the intelligence of the American people
What did he say?
while deputies pushed him into the courtroom. That's what it say. The 26-year-old Ivy League graduate from
Right.
prominent Maryland real estate family is fighting attempts to extradite him to New York so that he can face a murder charge in Manhattan killing of Brian Thompson, who is
Mm-mm.
the lead United States largest medical company, insurance company.
Wow.
So here's the thing. Another thing that somebody has stated, a corporate guy had talked to me about today. He
Mm-hmm.
has stated that on LinkedIn,
Mm-hmm.
they're already looking to fulfill the job.
Of course, they bit. Yeah, they're gonna
So
move
what does
somebody.
that say about America,
Yeah.
right? That this man, this is still the top leading story, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're looking to fill the position already.
They have to.
Another thing that he had pointed out to me that we had discussed, which is true, um, his coworkers was the only ones that knew he was there. How does this Ivy League player know this man's schedule that
Exactly.
close,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Exactly.
Him
Mm-hmm.
being from Minnesota,
Mm-hmm.
going to New York, and this guy being in Pennsylvania, right?
Exactly. And
It's a
they know
little,
exactly when he's leaving the hotel to go to another hotel. His hotel, he wasn't even at his hotel. He was at somebody else's hotel. He leaves out and walk down the street to his hotel. If that's
so
not set up,
so here's the thing. They said that a law enforcement bulletin obtained by the Associated Press said that at the time of his arrest, McGoning was carrying a handwritten document expressing anger with what he called Paris.
parasites. The parasites had to go.
Oh, okay. I was going to say statistic. What? Parasites. Okay. Yep. Parasites, health insurance companies, and disdain for corporate greed and power.
Mm-hmm. That's what he said.
He
Yeah,
wrote the U.S. has the
parasites.
most expensive healthcare system in the world, and that profits of major corporations continue to rise while our life expectancy, I can never say that right, does not
Mm-hmm.
does not according to the bulletin.
Right.
So we ain't expected to live throughout
Right.
the insurance, but you want us to pay all this money,
Pay
right?
all the insurance. Right. Mm-hmm.
In a social media post, Mangoni called uh, Unabomber Ted, I can't pronounce his last
Mm-hmm.
name, Kowalski.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that. who carried out a series of bombing while railing against modern society and technology, a political revolutionary,
Mm-hmm.
according to the police bulletin. So,
Mm-hmm.
Magoni remains in jail in Pennsylvania, where he is initially charged with possession of an unlicensed firearm, forgery, and providing falsified information to the police. Manhattan prosecutors were beginning to take steps to bring Magoni to New York, but at a brief hearing Tuesday, defense lawyer Thomas Dickey said that his client will not waive
He's fighting it.
extradition, and instead, once a hearing on the issue, Magoni was denied bail after
Mm-hmm.
prosecutors said he was too dangerous to be released.
Right.
He mostly stared straight ahead, hearing occasionally looking at papers, rocking in his chair, looking at the gallery. At one point, he began to speak to respond to the court decision, but was quieted
Lawyer.
by his attorney.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
You can't rush to judgment in this case or any case, Dickey stated. Afterwards, he presumed innocent and let not let's not forget that, right? So,
Yeah.
I
So
mean, I say that somebody called the police on him. That's what I was looking for. Somebody said that he
yes,
um
it was
that
a it was a woman that called the police at
okay,
McDonald's.
okay.
She recognized him and she called him in,
hmm
and that's what the police.
Everybody's mad at her, mind
Yes,
y'all.
yes,
Everyone's mad at
everyone's
her
mad at her.
about
But
snitching.
but the mayor, no, the governor or the mayor of New York
hmm
awarded her the $60,000.
So they did give her the money.
They're giving it to her.
Oh,
She said she deserves the $60,000 reward.
I mean, because they wouldn't have found him. They wasn't looking for him. To be honest with you, they
No,
wasn't looking.
no, they were still looking in New York. They didn't expect him to be gone up out of New York like that.
Well, they didn't expect it to be.
Pennsylvania's not
They didn't
far,
expect him to be that close.
right?
Pennsylvania.
No,
It,
that's close. That ain't no about probably 2 hours, 3 hours away, depending on what part of Pennsylvania he's in. Probably an hour and a half. Not even that, because you can walk across and be in Pennsylvania,
they
right?
said he had a hash brown, a winter jacket, and a beanie.
Mm-hmm.
He was eating.
Yeah.
He didn't think nothing of it. He
No.
just went and did a murder, and he's
And they
good.
said when the officer approached him, he told him put his mask down, and he pulled his mask down. And they said, were you in New York?" And he said he started get shaking a little bit, and he said arrested him. As he was arresting him, he kind of peed on himself.
Oh yeah, because he probably thought he was about to die.
Yup, he peed on himself. Yep.
Yeah, he said that to the feds. I'll keep this short because I do respect what you do for our country. To save you a lengthy investigation, I state plainly that I wasn't working with anyone. Oh,
I think he was. I think he was. They just don't. He don't want them to badger him and ask him what's going on. And it's no way he wasn't. I just can't see that you don't follow somebody and you don't know them really like that.
he said, I also do apologize for any strife or traumas, but it had to be done, frankly. These parasites simply had it coming.
So they're wondering if he was looking for other people that work for United Healthcare too, like or related to the company. So they took down all the pictures from of all the executives, high ranking executives in that company.
It was an investors conference,
Yep.
and he knew about it. How
Mm,
he knew that he was at that hotel, I'm still yet to figure that out, right?
right.
That still has to be that still has to be investigated. How
He
did you
does.
know that this
He's
man was
not
here?
going
We
to tell you that
understand that you had the plan because you was already upset about your mother, right?
or
But
yourself.
how did you know that he was there?
Right.
You knew about the conference because that's public
Public information.
information, right?
Hmm.
But how did you know he was at that hotel?
Exactly. Yeah. Well, guess
He
what?
fled on a bus.
Yeah.
I didn't.
56 56 said he wants to. He said that man a cold piece. He said I want I want to do a documentary on him. I said 50 Cent always finds some type of way
Yeah,
to make.
but let me tell you something. You know why? This was a trust fund baby. This kid was rich, wealthy. He comes from a life, they said it right here, a life
Yeah,
of country clubs and privilege. His
yeah,
shoes was $1,000.
yeah.
You went and did a murder in your $1,000 shoes and your silencer gun. And your grandfather was a self-made real estate developer and philanthropist.
Well, they're saying, okay, by him, he had those back problems, so he got the back rods, and
Yeah.
he did not have a sex life. He couldn't get, hard
Oh.
down there. Oh,
Oh.
so and they operated on him, and he can't function well. Yeah,
Oh, well, that's what he was mad about.
yeah,
He needed help with his,
yeah,
for him to flow,
yeah.
for him to release, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hmm. But it wasn't the decision making wasn't on Brian Thompson though.
No, it was on
For
the
a
medical.
corporation, you
Hmm.
kill one individual. That wasn't right.
No, so
And
and I think some of his other operations was not approved. It's a bunch of stuff he just giving little bits and pieces out, but he felt, yeah, his other operations wasn't approved, and this and this and that. Yes,
he
girl.
lived in Honolulu in 22. So he
Yes,
got to live wherever he wanted to live.
he was modeling. He was doing very well. Yep.
Well, he's gonna do all that in jail
Mm-hmm. Most definitely.
because that was a hate crime, right? Is that considered a hate crime?
It possibly could be. Yeah. But then it's his own personal health going on with that. So maybe not, but I'm not sure.
They said that he left surf break to get surgery on the mainland.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan said then later returned to Honolulu and rented an apartment.
Yeah,
Martin
love
stopped
and happiness.
hearing, huh?
She said, I think he was working with someone else also.
I do
Yes, he
too.
was. We
I
all
do
think
too.
that.
I do too. Because just think of this, y'all. Um, if somebody, like I said, how did you know that this man was at that hotel, just like Love and Happiness when we were talking about this the other day? How does somebody know
Where you
where
at?
you're at and
Where you
you're worth all that money?
at? Mm-hmm.
You didn't have a security guard because you didn't think that you needed one. This was an investment
Exactly.
meeting that you were going to. It's corporate, it's public. Why do I feel the coworkers had somebody in that company told your business? Who knew that you were staying at that hotel?
Well, but you know what? There is a back story to United Healthcare. Him and two other colleagues in the higher rankings
Okay.
had $100 million pulled out of a trust stocks recently.
Okay. Okay.
With
Was
it
he a part of that?
in February or somewhere around that time.
Hmm.
The feds came and is charging them because they came and talked to all three of them. So someone was saying that maybe they wanted him to keep his mouth shut and they offed him, and he's going to be a fall guy for that $100 million that was withdrawn.
So he was a fall guy to it because when they go get charged, they're gonna say he did it.
Exactly.
And case is done and case is closed.
Right.
Dead man can't talk, right?
Exactly.
Wow.
Yep.
Everything
So
I
he did
went.
he did a Martha Stewart before
Yeah,
everything
I just
crashed.
thought, and that's the first thing that came to my mind when you started talking about that. I thought about her. Only good
Mhm.
thing for her is she's still here with us, right?
Amen.
She's
Yeah.
doing better
Because
than she's ever
she
done.
did hers. She did hers alone. It was three of them invested in something big and drawed the money out before it was taken.
Right. But that was just 40 racks. That wasn't nothing. You
Right.
talking about
This
$100 million?
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be connected with nobody with no 100 million. I don't need that much money.
Yeah, girl,
I
girl.
want it. Hey, don't get me wrong. I would want it, but I wouldn't
Yeah,
want to be connected with somebody else. I want my own, right?
what your own,
Let
right?
me have my own, right? And
Exactly.
nobody know about it.
Nobody.
I'm not connected with you. Oh, we gonna go over here and hustle up and do this over here.
Yes,
Put this
right.
play together and get this 100 mil, and then you
Oh my
plotting on killing me. Like, what
God.
is
Right.
that?
Exactly, girl. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah, no.
Young guy, 30-something years
Yeah.
old. Jeez.
No, the guy 26.
No, the baby 26, but how old the CEO?
The
He,
CEO, I thought the CEO was 50.
oh, he is 50. Yep, he's 50. Yep,
He still had a long life.
he
He lived
did.
right here in Maple Grove.
Yep. Oh, wow. And he's from Iowa, technically. He's
Yeah,
from,
but live here. So
yep.
he's a Midwest guy and get killed on the East by an East Coast person too. Like, whew. Well, y'all, thanks for tuning in. We will
Yes.
see you Friday, 6 p.m. Make sure you check out
Support,
our sponsors.
yes. Support us. Support us. Go on the link and purchase something. All three businesses got something on sale. Bossed
Yep.
Up Beauty, Lena Beans, and Cashmere Lux. I don't want to hear nothing. I see every order come through. Y'all needs to order.
All
Thank
right. See you Friday.
you.